Key yanked Seth's arm and charged down the gleaming station corridor. The older siblings' frilled ears flattened against their scaled skull.
Seth stumbled but kept pace, tiny claws scraping the deck plates. Rook exploded from the side passage.
The massive guard dog planted all four paws and shouldered the quarantine hatch shut with a resounding clang. His hackles rose. Low growl rumbled from his chest. Tessa skidded to a halt beside him. She dropped to one knee and gripped his collar. Rook. Sit, stay. Her voice cut calm and firm through the chaos. The dog obeyed instantly. He sank to his haunches, eyes locked on the children. Tail thumped once against the bulkhead, alert, not aggressive. Key skidded to a stop inches from Rook's muzzle. The alien child thrust forward a cracked comm tag. Blue light flickered from its damaged screen. Key jabbed a clawed finger toward the viewport. Beyond the reinforced glass, their docked starship listed against the station arm, hull scarred by plasma vents. Seth whimpered and burrowed into Key's side. Mama's inside. Doors locked. Crew hurt. Tessa scanned the tag. Faint vitals pulsed. One adult, multiple injuries, stable but trapped. Quarantine protocol sealed the ship after its emergency docking, to breach possible contaminants, station AI enforced lockdown. No exceptions. She straightened. I'm Tessa. Rescue tech. You can't go in. It's sealed for a reason. Key's throat pouch inflated with a sharp hiss. They tapped the tag again. Words scrolled in broken galactic standard. Dr. Valaren, medic. Children cleared. She's our mother, Key said, voice steady despite the quiver in their tail. We translate for her. Crew needs us. Seth nodded furiously. Mama said, wait here, but vents hissing. Lights flashing red. Tessa keyed her wrist comm. Chief Holt, Ward here. Quarantine hatch Alpha 7. 2 miners from the Vesper trying breach. Got a cracked tag. Medic inside. Injured crew. Static crackled. Chief Marin Holt's voice barked back. Confirmed lockdown. No access until DCEC. Colding. Roger. Tessa muted the line. She eyed the children. Key stood tall, shielding Seth. Fear sharpened their golden eyes, but they didn't back down. Rook whined softly. He nosed Tessa's hand, then tilted his head at the kids. Smart boy. Tessa scratched his ears. She faced Key. Your mom's alive, vitals steady, but rules lock that door. We break them wrong. Everyone gets exposed.
Key clutched the tag. Crew dying.
Mother alone. Seth piped up. She sang to us on comm before it broke. Said hold tight. Tessa's jaw tightened. Checklists first. Assess breach risk. Secure miners. Coordinate evac. But these two weren't cargo. They were a team. Waiting for their anchor. She tapped the panel. Scans confirmed. Ship power fluctuating, bulkhead sealed tight. No hull breach into station yet. Chief, it's Ward. Ship's venting plasma, but contained. Medic's the only one stable enough to triage.
Kids say she's pinned crew.
Holt paused. Protocol says protect lives. Tessa cut in. We vent the corridor, cycle them through airlock with Rook as escort. Manual override from your end. Silence stretched. Then, override.
60 seconds. Get them clear after.
Tessa nodded to Key. Plan? You two stay behind Rook. He guards. I guide. We reach your mom. You translate. She stabilizes crew. Then out. Key's ears perked. You trust pup. Rook reads threats faster than scanners. Tessa patted the dog. He chooses pack. Rook rose as the hatch hissed open. He herded the children inside with gentle nudges. Tessa followed, breather mask sealing over her face. Corridor lights strobed red. Alarms whooped faintly through the bulkhead. Seth clung to Key's leg. Dark. Stay close. Key's voice firmed. They led the way, navigating the alien ship's narrow halls from memory. Rook ranged ahead, nose twitching at acrid smoke. He blocked a sparking panel, barking once. Good hold. Tessa rerouted power from her kit. Sparks died. They reached the medbay. Sealed doors glowed hazard orange. Inside, shadows moved. Dr. Valaren, tentacles steady as she pumped stabilizer into a groaning crewman. Her comm crackled. Key, Seth, stay back. Key slapped the override. Mama.
Human helps.
The door ground open. Vala's compound eyes widened at the intruders. Quarantine. Tessa raised gloved hands. Rescue tech. Kids brought us. Chief cleared it. Vala assessed in a blink. Crew, 3 fractures, plasma burns. Stabilized but need evac stretchers. Key darted to a console, fingers flying. Translating vitals to station format. Seth fetched bandages, passing them without a word. Rook patrolled the bay, growling at a flickering light that threatened to drop. He pawed it steady until Tessa sealed it. Vala nodded to Tessa. Efficient. Your protocols bend? For lives. Tessa hauled a crewman onto a makeshift sling. Lift on 3. They moved as one. Key called directions. Seth pointed out hazards. Rook cleared paths. Vala triaged on the fly. Holt's voice boomed over comma. Decon cycle ready. 5 minutes to seal. Sweat beaded Tessa's brow under the mask. One crewman down, leg pinned under debris. Rook wedged his shoulders beneath, lifting just enough. Pull! Tessa grunted. Vala and Key dragged him free. Seth slapped a tourniquet. They burst into the airlock. Decon mist sprayed. Lights flashed green. Station side, Holt waited with security team. Clear. Medevac inbound. Vala scooped Seth close. Key leaned into her side. They came, Mama. The medic met Tessa's gaze, human, and hound. Pack. Tessa grinned, unmasking. Rook flopped beside the kids, tail sweeping the deck. Teammates, always. Key reached out, hesitant claws scratched Rook's fur. The dog leaned in, eyes soft. Seth giggled. Big brother now. Holt clapped Tessa's shoulder. Good call, Ward. Rules held because you did.
As med teams swarmed, Vala turned.
We owe you. Strangers no more. Tessa watched the family huddle with Rook sprawled protectively nearby. Checklists complete.
Pack formed.
But the station alarms blared anew. A secondary breach, deeper in the ship. Holt's eyes hardened. Round 2, Key straightened. We go. Rook stood ready.
Teammates forever.
Klaxons shrieked. Bulkheads groaned and sealed with hydraulic hisses. Tessa Ward gripped her scanner tighter as 2 small aliens burst from the docking tube. Fur matted with soot, eyes wide.
Our mother, the older one, Key, gasped in broken standard.
Only doctor left. Trapped, the younger. Seth clutched Key's leg. Mama fixes everyone. Tessa knelt, Rook's low growl vibrating beside her. The German shepherd's ears pinned forward, scanning the kids faster than any sensor. Station protocols, Tessa said calmly. Lockdown means no crossings. Contam risk from the ship breach. Key's tail lashed. Ship dying. Medical deck sealed. Mama stays with hurt ones. Rook nosed Seth's hand. The pup flinched, then patted the dog's muzzle. Tessa activated her scanner. Blue light swept the children. Readings flashed clean. No rads, no biohazards. She tapped her wrist calm. Rescue tech ward logging 2 dependents. Key and Seth. Vala lineage. Safe station side. Dependents? Key tilted their head, spines quivering. Means you're under my watch, Tessa said. Teammates now. Safe. Footsteps pounded. Chief Marin Holt stormed up. Security team fanned behind. Her visor reflected the red strobes. Ward. Get them to evac bay. Corridor to ship seals in 30. Holt slapped the override panel. The docking tube iris clenched shut, lights rimming red. No breaches. Anyone tries. It's detention. Quarantine breach is court-martial. Key lunged forward. Rook blocked with a shoulder, gentle but firm. Seth wailed. No, Mama's name, Doctor. Vala Wren. Medical deck, section Gamma. She needs us. Holt's jaw tightened. Kids. Listen. Protocols save lives. Ship's hull breach venting Atmo. Tessa stood. Chief, they're clean. Mother's a medic. Only one left. Station's injured need her. Rules exist for this. Holt's voice hardened. Override denied until all clear. Key's claws dug into Tessa's boot. Humans follow rules. Leave pack. Not us. Tessa pulled her access badge, slapped it into the comm port. Link confirmed. Rescue tech ward filing emergency override. Medical priority. I stake my badge. Full liability. Holt's eyes narrowed. Ward, that's your career.
Tessa met her gaze.
Lives first. Comm crackled. AI processed. Seconds stretched. Green ping. Override granted. Limited team, 15 minutes. Holt exhaled. Damn it. Rook goes. He clears threats. Rook whined once. Sat alert. Seth buried a hand in his ruff. Dog brother helps. Tessa unsealed her kit. Masks on. Harnesses clipped. Key pointed at the panel. Tube pressure dropping. Debris in path. Lead, Tessa said. Holt punched the iris. Air rushed. They plunged into the tube. Sparks flew from ruptured conduits. Gravity flickered. Rook bounded ahead, nose to deck, barking sharp at a loose grate. Key yanked it aside. Hazards here. Seth clung to Tessa's harness. Slag hot. Tessa sidestepped molten drips, scanner pinging hull stress. Bulkhead sealed. They reached the door. Red lights pulsed, locked. Vala's voice crackled over intercom. Who's there? Evac now. Mama, Seth yelled. Children? No ship integrity failing. Go. Key pounded the panel. We came back. Tessa jacked her comm. Ren. Tessa Ward. Station rescue. Override active. Status. Injured crew. 5 critical. Bulkhead jammed. Debris lock. Rook pawed the seam. Sniffed. Growled low. Holt hefted her pry bar. Dog says breach point. Ward. Scan. Tessa swept. Weak seal. Lower edge. Rook. Lift Q. The dog wedged his muzzle under the lip. Shoulders bunched.
He heaved.
Metal screeched. Key shoved with Tessa. Holt torqued the bar. Seth slapped sealant foam on sparks. Bulkhead groaned. Open a foot. Hands reached out. Valhalla's face appeared, spine slick with sweat. You, humans. Teammates. Tessa gripped her arm. Pull through. Vala dragged a limping crewman first, an alien with seared limbs. Key translated his groans. Leg, bad. Seth darted in, fetched a splint from Vala's kit. Like Mama taught, Rook guarded the gap, teeth bared at drifting vent fog. Holt hauled the crewman clear. 2 more! Tessa boosted Vala next. The medic stumbled out, scooped Seth close. Claws grazed Tessa's arm. Thanks. Not attack. Pack, Vala murmured, eyes locked on Rook, who licked Seth's ear. Last crewman, pinned under console. Hull breach whistle rose. Pressure drop, Holt yelled.
Rook shouldered the console, lifted.
Tessa and Key dragged the man free. Vala slapped a patch on his suit.
They sprinted the tube. Decon missed hit.
Lights green. Station side. Med team swarmed. Holt clapped Tessa's shoulder. Badge stays yours, Ward. Good stake. Vala huddled her kids. Key scratched Rook's flank. Seth giggled. Big brother? Tessa unmasked, grinned. Rook flopped beside them, tail thumping. But alarms blared fresh. Secondary breach, ship core. Holt's eyes hardened. Round 2. Key straightened. We go. Rook rose. Tessa nodded. Teammates, forever. Tessa's scanner pinged again. Deeper readings scrolled. Core containment cracking. Radiation spikes. The station's docking clamps groaned under the ship's death throes. Chief, evac all shipside personnel, Tessa said, but that breach hits medbays next. Vala's spines flared. More injured. My patience. Holt keyed comms. Security full seal on tube alpha. Medevac priority.
Key tugged Tessa's sleeve.
You override before?
Again? Seth nodded furiously. Pack. Goes. Rook pressed against Key's side, whining agreement. The dog's warmth seeped through Tessa's suit. She checked her badge, still active, override logged. Tessa pulled up schematics. Flickering holomap showed the new breach, engineering adjacent to Meddeck 2.
Debris fields, live wires.
Valhalla leaned in. I know vents, bypass route. Holt grunted. Risky. But lives. They geared fast. Rook first through the resealed tube. His barks echoed back, path semi-clear. Tessa followed. Kids harnessed close. Seth pointed. Wire trap. Rook snapped at a sparking cable, dragged it aside. Key sealed a hole crack with foam. Vala triaged on move. That groan. Internal bleed. Tressa staunched with gel pack. Rook lifted his shoulders. They hauled. Deeper. Gravity failed. They mag boots clanked.
Alarms wailed closer. Bulkhead, Key yelled.
Whole pride. Rook wedged.
Vala slipped through, pulled patience. One down leg pinned.
Rook shouldered debris, lifted enough.
Tessa grunted. Vala and Key dragged.
Seth tourniqueted. Airlock. Decon spray. Green. Station side, Holt boomed. Clear. Medevac inbound. Vala scooped Seth. Key leaned in. They came, Mama.
Human and hound.
Pack? Vala met Tessa's eyes. Tessa grinned. Unmasked, Tessa clipped Rook's harness tight. The click echoed in the dim service hatch. She tugged the lead once. Rook surged forward, nose low, paws scraping grated deck. Easy, boy. Tessa crouched beside him. Her gloved hand scratched his flank. The crawlway ahead yawned narrow, lit by stuttering emergency strips. Air recyclers hummed faint, laced with ozone burn. Rook halted sharp at a vent seam.
His ears pinned back, hackles rose.
He pawed the grate, nostrils flaring. A low whine built in his throat.
Tessa knelt closer. Her scanner beeped negative.
But you smell different. She tapped her comm. Holt, dog signals life beyond this vent. Human scent, fresh. Static crackled.
Chief Marin Holt's voice cut through. Impossible.
Ship logs show that section vented. Kids say they're Dan's deeper med deck. Key edged forward. Seth clutched to their side. The older alien child's frills quivered. Not empty. Sensors lie. Ship twists and wreck. Key's claws clicked on Tessa's tablet. They pulled up schematics from memory. Lines bloomed. Conduits, bulkheads, hidden bypasses. Tessa watched the map solidify. Key traced a looping route through service vanes. Here, vent drops to subdeck. Avoids locked doors. Mama Seal's injured there.
Seth peeked over Key's arm.
Dog nose. Pack follows dog. The young one's tail lashed, eyes wide on Rook. Rook pressed his nose to the seam. He huffed hot breath. Tessa nodded. Smart plan, Key. You lead map, but Rook leads path. She unclipped her own harness, scooped Seth's small form into a carry sling. Key. You hold Rook's leash. Match his pace exact. No rush. Key gripped the lead firm. Their frills smoothed. Pack order? Yes. Holt's boots thudded behind. Ward, dispense protocol. Station lockdown for reason. Hull breaches everywhere. Tessa sealed the hatch. Protocol saves lives, Chief, not traps them. She boosted Rook through first. He wriggled into the vent, tail a black flag. They crawled single file. Tessa's suit scraped metal. Sweat beaded under her visor. Rook's barks bounced ahead. Clear path, then pause. Key, relayed. Turn left. Seam, loose. Tessa pried it open. Sparks danced from a frayed wire. Rook snapped at it, teeth clamping safe. He yanked it aside. Tessa sprayed foam seal. Good boy. Seth twisted in the sling. Light bad. Smell blood. Tessa's light swept forward. Debris floated in 02 pockets. A panel hung crooked. Key mag booted past. Tablet glowing. Next vent down. Mama's voice came last here. Rook froze again. His body tensed rigid. Whine pitched high. He dug at another seam, further along. Sensors on Tessa's wrist blinked red. Vacuum trace. No vitals. Chief, dog insists. Life sign. Holt grunted over comm. Pushing bulkhead from your side. Vala's pinned crew there. Reports say 2 down. Tessa wedged her tool. The seam groaned. Rook shouldered in beside her. His jaws gripped edge. Pulled.
Metal bent. Key chittered alarm.
Ship groans. Brace. A tremor shook the crawlway. Alarms wailed. Tessa maglocked her boots. Grabbed Seth tight. Rook held fast, growling defiance. Dust settled. Tessa exhaled. Clear. Rook first. The dog dove through. His barks turned urgent. Live breaths, panicked. Tessa followed, hauling Seth. Key scrambled after. Leash taut. They spilled into a dim chamber.
Med deck sublevel.
Consoles sparked. 2 alien crew slumped against bulkheads, frills limp. Dr. Vala Wren knelt between them, paws bloodied, applying pressure seals.
Vala's head snapped up. Her eyes locked on the children.
Key, Seth wriggled free. Mama, they barreled into her arms. Key froze, then rushed. We mapped. Dog found. Rook circled the group. Sniffed each patient. Sat alert by the worst one. Gaping wound in torso. Tessa knelt beside Vala. Status, Doc. Vala's voice shook, but paws stayed steady. Stabilized, but need a vac. Bulkhead sealed us in. Protocols locked. Holt burst through a side panel he'd pried.
Kvac inbound.
5 mics. He eyed Rook. Dog beat our scanners again. Tessa checked the wounded. Applied gel packs. Rook smelled them through vacuum trace. Sensors missed faint breaths. Vala stroked Seth's crest. Looked to Tessa. You overrode. For strangers, Tessa clipped a fresh tourniquet. Teammates now. Pack holds. Key tugged Rook's ear gentle. Good hunter. Pack strong. Rook leaned into the touch. Tail thumped once. Another shutter hit. Lights flickered. Holt braced the door. Hull stress. Moving now. Tessa hoisted the first patient. Rook gripped the other's harness in teeth. Lifted shoulders steady.
Allah took legs. Key and Seth flanked.
Pointing snags, they hauled through twisting vents. Sparks flew. Rook dragged clear a fallen beam. His growl warned of live current. Key foamed it shut. Gravity flipped mid-crawl. Tessa's stomach lurched. Mag boots clamped. Hold formation, Seth yelped. Clung to Key. Down is up. Vala laughed sharp. Children brave. Like damn, deeper alarms blared. Red lights pulsed. Holt's voice barked, breach widening. Station tractors pulling ship. 30 seconds to seal. Tessa pushed harder.
Sweat stung eyes. Rook panted ahead, never slowing.
They hit the final airlock. Holt cranked at manual. Decon spray hissed. Green lights flashed. Station side burst open. Med team swarmed. Stretchers out. Vala scooped, both children. Held tight, Key met Tessa's gaze. Pack saved Mama. Tessa unmasked. Grinned wide. Rook pressed warm against her leg. Pack goes together, but Rook whined low. Nose lifted to a new vent overhead. Pod insistent.
Tessa's scanner flatlined that section.
Empty.
Dead.
Yet Rook signaled again.
Life hidden.
Breathing. Holt frowned. What now? Vala's frills flared. Listen to Hound. Key nodded fierce. More Pack. Lost. Tessa clipped Rook's lead fresh.
Sensors lie, we find.
The dog plunged into the new vent. Barks echoed. Another breath where none should be. Tessa followed. The Pack tightened. Seth's voice piped from Vala's arms. Dog magic. No magic, just nose. They crawled deeper. Air thinned. A faint cry leaked through. Third voice. Child? Crew? Rook's tail wagged frantic. He smelled home. Tessa's light caught a small form huddled in crossvent. Alien kit, frills matted, clutching a med kit. Sibling. Cousin? Tessa reached gentle. Pack found you. The kit flinched, then grabbed her glove. Claw. Key translated soft. Auntie's helper. Thought alone. Back to airlock. Medevac hummed inbound. Vala gathered the new kit. Eyes shone on Tessa. Humans, hounds, bend stars for us. Holt sealed the hatch. Rules flex. Lives first. Rook sat proud. Licked Seth's paw. Pack complete. Tessa scratched his ears. Station alarms faded, but in the quiet, bonds hummed stronger. Deeper station-wide, Tessa slammed the emergency cutoff. Her gloved hand wrenched the docking ring's master power lever. Sparks died mid-burst. The electrical fire guttered out, flames licking futile at starved conduits. Smoke curled lazy from the panel, but the spread halted. Power down, Tessa radioed. Ring secure. Fire arrested. Chief Holt's voice crackled back. Copy ward. But hull stress is climbing. You've got minutes before protocols lock the whole arm.
Rook pressed against her leg. His nose twitched at the deck plates.
Low growl rumbled. Key clutched the tool roll tighter. The older alien child's frills quivered, but eyes stayed sharp. There. Microfracture. Air whispers out. Tessa's scanner beeped confirmation. A hairline split snaked across the bulkhead, venting atmosphere in a hiss too quiet to hear over alarms. One wrong seal, and the dock became vacuum. Kid still held Rook's leash. Seth's small paw looped through the carabiner. Key's grip steady beside it. Tool roll, Tessa said. Key slapped it into her palm. Foam canister first. Tessa punched the nozzle. White patch foam hissed out, expanding into the crack. It hardened fast, sealing the fracture with a crisp snap. Good pass, Tessa said. Teamwork. Key's frills perked. Pack seals.
Seth tugged the leash. Dog says go.
Mommy waits. Rook barked once. Sharp. Insistent. He lunged forward, nose to a flickering access grate. Pressure readings flickered on Tessa's wrist unit. Gust building. Back, Tessa snapped. Too late. Deck shuddered. A sudden pressure gust erupted from the grate. Escaped air from a failing seal deeper in. It yanked at Tessa's boots. Rook exploded into motion. Teeth clamped Seth's suit harness. The dog yanked hard. Seth flew backward, tumbling safe into Tessa's arms. Leash whipped taut, yanking Key off balance too. Tessa caught them both, one-handed. Rook released. Sat firm. Guarded the grate. Growl deepened. Seth blinked up at Tessa. Dog magic pulls. No magic. Tessa ruffled his frills.
Training. And knows.
Key stared at Rook. Hound reads wind before machines.
Holt's voice cut in. Ward. Status?
Pressure event contained. Rook saved the kid. Tessa clipped the leash shorter, moving to airlock. Station protocols just triggered full lockdown. Docking ring isolating.
Pause. Holt's tone hardened.
I can override for a 30-second window. Bulkheads open then. You move or abort. Your call. Tessa eyed the corridor ahead. Sparks still danced in shadows. Vala's voice leaked from the comm patch Key wore. Children? Tessa? Key pressed the patch. Here, mother. Hawk. Brings us. Vala Wren's frills rustled audible. Holt bends rules. For us? Rules protect. Holt grunted. Not trap. Rook pawed forward. Tail low. Focused.
He smelled the path. Tessa nodded.
We move. Rook led, nose high. Seth clung to the leash, tiny legs pumping.
Key, matched, stride. Scanner in claw, mirroring Tessa's. Deck groaned.
Alarms wailed sharper. Hull integrity at 72%. Tessa's boots pounded grated floor. Sparks showered from overhead conduits. Rook dodged a falling panel, shouldered Seth clear. 10 seconds, Holt barked. Bulkhead cycling. Vala's airlock loomed. Sealed tight. Red lights pulsed. Key slammed her paw on the manual override. Nothing. Tessa wedged her multi-tool. Pry bars engaged. Metal screeched. Rook barked frantic. Sat at the hatch. Pawed insistent. 5. Holt counted. Window closing.
Seth whimpered.
Mommy? The hatch groaned. Inch open. Vala's face appeared. Frills wide. Eyes locked on her kits. Inside, Tessa shoved Key first. Rook herded Seth through the gap. Seth dove. Clung to Vala's leg. Key piled in after. Tessa glanced back. Smoke thickened. Pressure gust howled louder. Holt's override hit limit. Bulkhead shuttered shut behind them. Clang. Safe. Vala scooped both children. Frills flared gratitude.
You carved path through storm.
Tessa unclipped Rook's leash.
Dog leaned into her knee, licked Seth's paw clean of foam residue.
Key watched. Humans cut power. Hounds pull from death. Chief bends iron laws. Holt patched through the intercom. Medevac docking in 2. Full evac. Good work, Ward. Not alone. Tessa scratched Rook's ears. Pack, but Rook whined again. Nose to the new bulkhead. Pawed urgent.
Tessa's scanner lit up. Deeper station-wide breach.
Another cry. Faint. Trapped. More. Vala tensed.
Key nodded. Hack hears.
Seth piped up. Dog magic finds. Tessa clipped the leash fresh. Sensors lie. Nose doesn't. We go. Rook plunged ahead. Barks echoed into the vents. Tessa followed. Children gripped the leash tight. One wrong step ahead turned the path to vacuum. And the kids still held on. Alarms pierced the 68%. Alarms pierced the recycled air. Tessa's multi-tool hummed in her grip, ready for the next fracture. Rook veered sharp into a side duct. Low crawl. Tessa dropped to knees. Tight fit. Kids, single file.
Key pushed Seth ahead. I guard tail.
Seth giggled, despite fear. Dog leads.
Human cuts? We pack.
Vala sealed the airlock behind.
Wire voice. Followed via patch. I stabilize crew here. You hunt lost. Lost. Third kit confirmed. Scans missed it before. Rook didn't. Dog paused at a junction. Sniffed. Left. Right.
Chose down. Tessa's light-pierced gloom.
Faint glow. Emergency beacon. Child-sized. There, she reached. Small alien form huddled, frills limp. Med kit clutched like shield.
Hey, little one.
Tessa's voice soft. Glove extended slow. Kit flinched. Then grabbed. Clung hard. Key. Translated. Alone thought. Backtrack. Fast. Rook herded the new kit. Seth shared leash grip.
Pack bigger. Medevac klaxons neared. Vala waited at hatch. Arms open.
Eyes met Tessa's. Humans, hounds. Bend stars. Holt's voice final. All accounted. Rules flexed. Lives first. Rook sat tall. Licked new kit's paw. Pack whole. Tessa exhaled. Alarms faded. But deeper station rumbled. New alerts flashed. Starship debris field expanding. Station protocols rearming. Rook's ears perked. Nose lifted. More to find. Seth tugged leash.
Again? Tessa grinned. Pack doesn't quit.
They moved.
Bonds pulled tighter than any cable. Chief Holt patched full channel. Ward, secondary docking ring. Fire reignited. Crew trapped. Tessa's scanner synced. Same pattern. On it. Key past tool roll.
We cut power. Rook led charge.
One gust away from vacuum. Leash held firm in small paws. Station shuddered. Tessa wrenched the secondary cutoff. Sparks died. Fire starved. Rook yanked Seth from fresh gust. Key sealed fracture. Holt's window. Move. Pack bolted. Bonds unbreakable.
Deeper still called. Tessa slammed the breaching charge against the inner hatch.
Sparks flew. The seal hissed open.
Smoke billowed out, thick and acrid. She yanked a reel of tape lights from her harness. Unspooled it fast, stuck glowing strips along the deck and bulkheads. Path marked. Stay on the blue line. Kiyad nodded. Frills perked. Gripped Seth's paw tight. The younger kit whimpered but shuffled forward. Rook bounded ahead, ears pinned back, nose twitching through the haze. No hesitation. He tracked straight, weaving past twisted conduits. Tessa followed, scanner in one hand, medkit slung over shoulder. Station protocols screamed in her earpiece. Docking ring locked down, no unauthorized breaches. Chief Holt's voice cut through. Ward, you're off script. Fire suppression failed. Bulkhead sealed tight. Lives first, Chief. Tessa kept pace with Rook. The dog's tail flicked once. Signal clear, target close. Smoke clawed her throat. She pulled her mask down.
Passed spares to the kits. Key helped Seth strap his on.
Small paws steady despite the shake. Rook halted. Sat rigid before a medical bulkhead, door jammed half open. Faint thumps echoed from inside, scratching sounds. Desperate. The ship stayed dark, emergency lights flickering like dying stars. But Rook walked straight to that door. Someone fought to open it from the other side. Tessa knelt beside him. Good track, boy. Rook whined low. Pawed the edge. She ran gloved fingers along the panel, melted wiring. Fire damage locked it solid. Key, you up for this? The older kit stepped up. Frills flared bright, fear turned focus. Panel hot wire. Tish? Tessa pulled her tool roll. Snapped out cutters and probes. Watch close. Bridge the red to blue here. Bypass the auto lock. She pointed. Key's tendrils extended, fine as wires. Mimicked her moves. Sparks danced. The panel beeped. Manual override glowed green. Door groaned. Inched wider. Arced. Sharp. Pulled back.
Tessa wedged her pry bar. Muscled it open.
Medbay clear. In we go. Smoke thinned inside. Doctor. Vala Wren crouched over an injured crewman. Her alien hands, four-fingered, precise, compressed a chest wound. 2 more patients lay stabilized on gurneys. Tubes snaked from autodocs. Vala's head snapped up. Eye stalks widened. Key bolted past Tessa, tackled into Vala's side. Seth piled on, frills tangled in a heap. Vala clutched them close. One arm kept rhythm on the compressions.
My kits. Safe.
Tessa scanned the room. Fires out, but hull stress lights pulsed red. Debris field expanding outside. Doctor, status, 3 critical. Stabilized, but need evac now. Valhalla rose, kits clinging. Passed a hypo to Tessa. Administer to the engineer. Human dosage. Tessa jabbed the needle home. Man's breathing eased. Rook circled the gurneys. Sniffed each patient. Sat by the quietest one. Nudged his hand gentle. Chief Holt barked over comms. Ward protocols rearming. Docking clamps releasing in 2. Get them out. Tessa slung the lightest patient over her shoulder. Fireman's carry, steady. Key, Seth, gurneys. Rook, herd. The dog fell in step. Nipped at heels when Seth lagged. Vala pushed the heavier cart. Her species' strength shone. Balanced the load one-handed. Humans charge walls. Hounds scent truth. My young ones, learned pack. Key beamed up at Tessa. Auntie Tessa teach hotwire. Rook find door. They hit the tape-lit path. Smoke swirled thicker.
Station shuddered. A bulkhead groaned nearby.
Rook's hackles rose. He barked urgent. Veered off the line. Stick to path, Tessa snapped. But Rook pawed a side vent. Nose jammed in. Whined. Seth tugged Key's frill. Here? Scratching.
Tessa dropped to knees. Scanner swept.
Life signs. Faint. Trapped. Another.
She yanked the vent grate. Twisted metal bit her gloves.
Rook dove headfirst. Yanked back with fabric and teeth. Uniform scrap. Vala stabilized the gurney. Go, I hold. Tessa crawled in after Rook. Tight squeeze. Sparks singed her sleeve. Rook dragged a limp form. Station tech. Alien. Frills charred. Unconscious. Tessa hauled him out. Checked pulse. Weak. Key hypo on him. Low dose. Kit obeyed. Precise. Tech coughed. Eyes fluttered. Fire. Trapped. Pack. Caught you. Tessa hefted him up. Arms burned, but she locked grip. Back to path. Group tightened. Rook led now, nose high. Seth gripped his leash like lifeline. Dog brave.
No quit.
Holt's voice tightened.
Debris incoming. 30 seconds to clamps off.
Move. They burst into the docking ring. Medevac shuttle lights pierced gloom. Ramp down. Holt waited, rifle slung, directing loaders. Saw the extra tech. Nodded once. Rules flexed. Load 'em. Tessa passed patients aboard. Collapsed against bulkhead. Gulped air. Vala knelt beside. Pressed forehead to hers. Alien thanks. Warm. You bent protocols. Saved my crew. My family. Key hugged Tessa's leg. Seth licked her glove, mimicking Rook. The dog panted happy. Tail thumped deck. Holt sealed ramp. All accounted. Punching out. Shuttle lurched. Station shrank behind. Debris sparkled like fireworks. Tessa ruffled Key's frills. Pack doesn't quit. But alarms blared anew. Fresh distress, deeper in the ring. Hull breach expanding. Voices cut through static. Trapped. Medbay secondary. Rook's ears perked. Nose lifted. Stood tall. Seth tugged Tessa's sleeve. Again? Key grabbed tool roll. We go. Vala's eye stalks locked on Tessa. Trust raw. Lead. Human. Pack follows.
Tessa grinned.
Strapped in tight. Holt plot reverse dock.
Deeper still calls. Shuttle banked hard. Rook leaned into her side. Bonds pulled tighter. Station loomed once more. One gust from vacuum. Leash firm in small paws. Tessa wrenched the secondary cutoff. Sparks died. Fire starved. But a new hatch buckled. Thumps inside. Rook charged. She breached it fast. Tape lights down. Smoke clawed.
Dog tracked true. Key hot-wired.
Door yielded. Inside, another medic bay. Wounded piled. A lone figure, Vahala's colleague. Fought SEALs alone. Saw them.
Impossible.
Protocols. Plexed. Tessa pushed in. Rook herded patients out. Kits relayed hypos comm. Vala, directed from shuttle link. Collaboration seamless. Chief Holt covered rear. Debris field closing.
Evac window shrinking. They loaded last body.
Ramp hissed shut. Thrust pinned them back. Silence fell. Patients stabilized. Kits curled with Rook. Snores mixed with whines. Vahal sat by Tessa. Your kind, practical compassion turned strangers to pack. Tessa scratched Rook's ears. Just checklists and teammates. Holt patched station command. Rescue complete. All souls out. But Rook whined. Nose to viewport. Fresh rumble echoed. Deeper station Rook's whine sharpened into a bark. Tessa snapped upright in the shuttle's jump seat. The deck shuddered under fresh vibrations from the station's core. Halt! Sensors deeper breach? Chief Holt's fingers flew over the console. Affirmative. New hull stress medical wing 3. Bahala's sector. Key bolted from the kit's nest. Eyes wide. She stays. Patience first. Tessa unstrapped. Grabbed her tool roll. We go back in. Rook, heel. The dog surged to her side, ears pinned. Seth clutched Key's frill, but the older kit shoved a breather mask over their sibling's face. Pack goes. Holt banked the shuttle hard. Docking clamps engaged with a grind. Airlock cycled. Alarms blared beyond. Station protocols locking down decks. Red lights pulsed. Evac protocols sealed Batwing. Holt growled. No entry without override. Tessa slapped her palm on the outer hatch panel. Overrides us. She yanked wires, sparked a bypass. Door groaned open. Smoke billowed. Rook plunged first, nose low, barking at shadows. Key tugged Tessa's sleeve. This way, Mama's Bay. They sprinted down the flickering corridor. Bulkheads groaned. Sparks showered from a ruptured conduit. Holt's med crew fanned out behind. Hypos ready. Rook halted sharp. Growled low. A hatch ahead buckled inward. Thumps from within. Muffled cries.
Tessa wedged her pry bar. Metal screamed.
Door gave. Inside. Wounded alien sprawled on medbay's frills limp. Air hissed from micro-leaks. And there, Vala Wren. Eye stalks weaving through the haze, she sealed a chest wound on a groaning crewman. Her scales smeared with blood gel. She saw them. Eye stalks locked. Tessa pushed forward. Time to evac, Doc. Suit up. She yanked a spare envirosuit from the wall rack. Strapped it over Vala's shoulders with practiced snaps. Tightened seals. Handed over the comm tag, clipped to Key's belt. They're safe on shuttle. Mama, come. Vala's frills flattened. She glanced at an unconscious patient nearby, chest heaving uneven. No. Extract him first. Lungs compromised. I stabilize. Tessa's jaw set. Protocols say medics evac last. Protocols flex for lives. Vala's eye stalk swiveled back to work. Injected a hypospray. Patient's breathing steadied. Rook barked sharp. Spun toward a corner. A crewman staggered up. Alien, frills wild, claws raking his own mask. Panic in his eyes. Air.
Poison. He tore at the seal. Rook launched.
Pinned the crewman flat in one fluid lunge. Paws on shoulders. Jaws clamped fabric, not flesh. Crewman thrashed. Rook held firm, whine low and steady, enforced boundary. Holt's team swarmed, struggled him into a carry sling. Good hold, dog. Tessa nodded to Key. Kit, you know this deck. Guide Holt's crew to the rest wounded. Mark him on your pad. She split the team, half with Key prying into side bays. Shouts echoed as they dragged bodies clear. Valhalla rose, grabbed Tessa's arm. Deeper still. Breach in cryostorage. Unconscious there. Go. Tessa hefted her roll. You suits sealed. Move with Rook. Dog released the crewman, circled back. Herded Vala toward the hatch.
Key darted past with a sling. Found 3.
This way, Chief, Holt bellowed orders. Stack 'em portside. Shuttle ramp in 60. Tessa and Vala plunged deeper. Corridor narrowed. Lights flickered red. A bulkhead panel sparked wild. Rook shouldered it aside. Nose tracked blood scent. There. Vala pointed. A side hatch, jammed half open. Inside, cryopods cracked open, frost venting. An alien slumped against one. Unmoving, mask fogged. Tessa wedged in. Checked vitals. Pulse thready. Hypoxia. She slapped a fresh oxypack on, dragged an arm over her shoulder. Vala took the other side. They hauled together. Legs burned.
Air thinned. Rook wedged under. Boosted the limp form.
3 backs, 1 pull. Body cleared the hatch. Alarms spiked. Hull, breach, imminent. Evac all personnel. Backtrack fast. Wounded piled in the main bay now. Key darted between, relaying Vala's calm directions. Frills blue, hypo 2. Claws twitch, brace neck. Holt waved them through. Shuttle's hot, strap in. Vala hesitated at the ramp. Eye stalks swept the bay. One last patient, pinned under debris. Not all. Tessa cursed under breath. Dropped her roll. Rook, clear. Dog charged. Exposed a leg. Tessa pried beam up. Vala slid in, hyposprayed. Together they dragged the final body free. Ramp hissed shut. Thrust slammed them down. Tessa braced Vala's suit. Rook sprawled across Kitz's laps, whining comfort. Silence settled. Medbays hummed. Patience stirred. Key unclipped the comm tag, pressed into Vala's grip. Seth burrowed into frills. Vala's eye stalks met Tessa's. You chose rescue over rules. Tessa shrugged. Checked seals on a sling. Checklists save lives. Teammates fill gaps. Holt patched through to command. Med wing clear. 20 souls outbound. Rook's ears perked, nose to bulkhead. A new rumble built, not station.
Shuttle hull groaned.
Tessa's scanner pinged. Incoming debris. Evasive. Holt yanked controls. Shuttle spun. Metal shrieked outside. They cleared the field. Station receded. A wounded hulk. But Vala stiffened. Eye stalks widened at her pad. Ship logs, my vessel. Still docked coreside. Crew trapped. Infants aboard. Key's frills quivered. Littermates. Tessa gripped her roll. Deeper still calls. Holt banked toward the starship's shadow. Rook leaned in. Pack tightened. Tessa sealed her helmet. Plot intercept. We breach.
Debris whirled closer.
Alarms wailed. Vala nodded. Pack leads. Shuttle dove. Hulls loomed. One gust from collision. Rook barked once. Tessa wrenched the docking override. Clamps locked. Airlock cycled to hell's breath. They spilled into the starship's core. Lights dead. Gravity failed. Bodies floated. Silent. Key pointed. Nursery pod. That way. Tessa, mag boots. Clomped. Rook paddled air. Jaws ready. Vala herded slings. Holt covered rear. A cry pierced vacuum. Muffled. Infant wail. Door sealed tight. Protocols glowed red. Quarantine lock. Tessa sparked bypass. Sparks flew. Door cracked. Inside. Two tiny aliens, frills limp, huddled in a pod. Seth gasped. Littermates. Rook nosed in first. Licked masks, straight. Herded them gentle. Tessa scooped one. Vala the other. Suits sealed around small forms. But alarms spiked anew. Core meltdown sequence. Evac abort. Holt's voice crackled. Tessa, out, now. Radiation spike. Vala froze. Eye stalks on a console. Tessa yanked Valhalla's arm. Console later. Move. Radiation gauges screamed red. The nursery pod bucked as core fields flickered. Key clutched Seth's frill, both masks fogging with panicked breaths. Rook paddled through zero jaws, nudging their legs toward the airlock. Holt fired mag lines to the shuttle hatch. Clamps in 10. Go. Vala scooped the slings tighter. Two infant siblings, frills limp against her chest plate. Crew vitals dropping. I need my med station.
Station first.
The older child's claws dug in, but their eyes locked on the path. Debris pinged off suits. One panel exploded in sparks. Rook barked, sharp, directional.
He herded Seth ahead. Hatch irised.
Shuttle airlock swallowed them. Clamps released with a groan. Holt punched, thrust. The starship receded, venting plasma plumes. Station loomed ahead. A battered lattice of lights. Dock coreside. Tessa said. Med bay priority. Vala's eye stalk swiveled. Lockdown protocols active. My access. Alarms cut her off. Shuttle shuddered into berth. Clamps locked. Air cycled. Tessa popped her helmet first. Acrid smoke clawed her throat. Ship exhaust bleeding through seals. She unsealed Key's mask. The child gasped, frills flaring blue. Stay tight. Tessa shouldered the hatch. Docked corridor stretched ahead. Grated deck vibrating under emergency strobes. Vala cradled the infants. Holt covered rear with scanner raised. Rook bounded out, nose low, scanning shadows.
Key tugged Tessa's sleeve. Mother's bay.
That way. Fast. Seth clung to Key's leg. Bulkheads closing. I heard the hiss. Tessa nodded. Checklist. Path clear, suits off. Medivac. She strode forward, group in tow. Smoke curled thicker from the berth vents.
Station klaxons wailed. Quarantine lockdown. All sectors seal in 60.
A bulkhead groaned ahead, halfway to medbay. Red lights pulsed. Vala pushed past. My patience. Open it. Tessa slapped the panel. Locked. Override denied. Breach violation logged. Responder ward. Stand down. Station security. A voice boomed over speakers. Unauthorized docking. Containment breach. Evacuate or face charges. Holt keyed his comm.
Chief Holt here. Rescue op?
Stand down lockdown. Protocols protect the station. Bulkhead seals in 30. Key froze. Mothers on the other side. Vala spun. Infants wailed in slings. Seth bolted forward. Toward the closing gap. Mama, Seth, no. Key lunged. The bulkhead hissed shut. 3 centimeters of alloy separated them. Seth pounded tiny fists. Let us through. Mama's hurt crew. Tessa dropped to knees. Smoke-stung eyes. Radiation pinged faint on her wrist scanner. Holt, override. Working it. He patched into core systems. Sparks flew from his tool. Vala pressed frills to the metal. My children.
Open! Rook growled low. He rammed his shoulder into the gap, where deck met bulkhead.
Paws scrabbled. Jaws clamped Seth's suit cuff. Gentle tug. The dog backed up, dragging the shrieking child through the shrinking space. Seth tumbled into Tessa's arms. Rook.
He fit.
Key stared. Frills quivered. Dog delivered me. The bulkhead clanged shut, but Rook wedged his muzzle back, sniffed, barked once. On the other side, muffled thumps answered. Vala's eye stalks widened. Infants quieted. Tessa hauled Seth close. Good boy. Rook pressed against Key next, broad chest rumbling. The older child sank fingers into fur. Shaking eased. Seth buried face in Tessa's leg, then reached for Rook. Tremors faded under the dog's weight. Holt grunted. Override green. Bulkhead cycling. Chief Marin Holt strode up, station security chief, badge gleaming.
No, this was the corridor chief? Wait. Same name?
Tessa blinked. Holt, her shuttle pilot, was comms liaison to Station Chief Marin Holt. Station Chief Holt arrived, pad in hand. Ward. Report. Rescue complete. Ship core meltdown averted. Family intact. Tessa stood, kids flanked by Rook. Chief Holt scanned the group. Smoke still vented from the berth. Ship hull glowed orange beyond viewports. Breach logs show violation. Override without clearance. Rules bend for lives, Tessa said. Calm. Checklist done. Vala stepped forward. Infants secure. Eye stalks met Holt's gaze. My crew stabilized on ship. These... my litter. Your responder acted. Chief Holt tapped the pad. After action. Approved. Ward cleared. No misconduct. He signed with thumb. Pad beeped green. Key straightened. Rook knew the way.
Pushed us to mother. Seth nodded, clutching fur.
He didn't leave us. Vala clasped Tessa's wrist. Four-fingered grip. Firm. Warmth. Seeped through glove. Register this guardian as family escort. Official. For docks, bays, all stations. Tessa glanced at Rook. He leaned into the kid's tail, thumping steady. Station policy. Chief Holt holstered pad. Make it so. Dog's log. Bonded escort. Wren family. He nodded to Vala. Pack cleared. Smoke cleared as vents hummed. Corridor lights steadied. Key hugged Rook's neck. Seth climbed onto his back. Vala's frills relaxed, blue to soft green. Tessa smiled. Teammates safe. Pack whole. But alarms ticked faint, deeper station sectors. Another breach. Rook's ears pricked. He nosed toward medbay. Growl rumbled. Vala tensed. Crew logs, more injured. Tessa gripped her roll. Lead on. Tessa guided the group through the settling haze. Dock grates crunched under boots. Rook ranged ahead, then circled back to press against Seth's side. The youngest alien's claws tangled in his harness. No more shakes. Medbay doors parted. Vala rushed slings to a biobed. Infants cooed as seals released. Key hovered, translating monitor beeps into urgent plans. Oxygen low. Frill stim needed. Tessa handed over a hypo from the crash cart. Checklist flowed. Chief Holt lingered at the hatch.
Station's calling your breach a textbook violation, Ward.
Until the dog dragged those kids through. He chuckled. Footage goes viral. HFY gold. Tessa shrugged. Just work. Vala turned from the bed. Eye stalks locked on Rook. Family escort. Bind it now. Chief Holt pulled the pad again. Wren, Vala. Guardian. Rook. Human handler, Ward, Tessa. Cross-species bond logged. Clear for all transit.
Rook sat tall.
Tail swept the deck. Key beamed. Peck, Seth blurted. No more locks. Rook breaks rules good.
Vala clasped Tessa's wrist again. Tighter.
You chose rescue. We bond. Tessa nodded. Competence met compassion. Strangers no more. Station hummed alive, but Rook whined. Nose to the viewport. Ship smoke thickened. More? Tessa asked. Vala checked pad. Holt keyed comms. Shuttle prepped.
Rook back! Pack rose!